Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the continuing coverage of the GAC Football Virtual Media Day. Up now, we have representing Northwestern Oklahoma State, Coach Matt Walter, as well as Tanner Clarkson and Brian Holiday. Coach, as we have with coaches in the past, we have a opening comment from you, and then we'll take questions from the assembled group. So the floor is yours.
Well, first of all, thank you for having us on here, and thank you for putting this together. I know it's new and different doing it this way, but I think it's great for our players, great for our fans, great for our schools and communities. So I appreciate you putting it together and all the work that it took to get all this together. So, but we're looking forward to 2022, and we reported today, so we got everybody here today, and kind of been a whirlwind today, having this in the middle of our report day. So, but it's been good, and we're excited up here in Alva, Oklahoma.
Coach, if you would, can you address that just a little bit? It's I'm sure it's nice to have people back. We get a chance usually, and you and I get a chance to visit midway through the summer, and I always appreciate the time to get to talk to you. It's a fun opportunity. But just where the program is right now, coming in off of last season, but getting to see everyone again today with the excitement of the new year.
Yeah, I mean, you start every year with a bunch of optimism, and coming off a great summer with our strength coach, Coach Dukart, and the work the kids put in all summer, and then having that, a few days off before we report for camp was, it was good to see them all come back and be excited and ready to go. So, again, we're just super excited, and I know the players, they can speak on it probably better than I can, but I know as coaches, grinding all summer and getting ready to for this 2022 season. Expectations are high for us, and we put high expectations on ourselves and our players, and we're ready to go. Ready to get started. I know we can't practice till Friday, but I wish we could practice right now.
I would imagine, gentlemen, that you probably feel that way as well. Tanner, I want to talk to you. You can address that, as Coach said. You can address that a little bit more too, and you're sporting a little bit different do than we saw in the roster picture from last year. So talk about that. Address that really quickly.
Yeah, it was time for a change. I ended up cutting my hair over Christmas for my mom. She's been wanting me to cut it for a while. And I'm starting to get into the professional development of my education semesters because I'm an education major. So it was time to make a change. It's a little easier to manage.
Okay, now I will ask you to talk about reporting today, but one more question to follow that up. So you're saying student teaching is probably you're gonna look a little bit different going into the classroom as it is now as opposed to before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look a little better.
All right. Well, Tanner, you threw for a ton of yards last year. What's it like coming back and talk about the excitement of getting ready for the new season?
It's going to be a real exciting year. We had a good spring, good summer, real intense. We amped it up a lot, and we got some guys filling in, so I'm super excited about that. Going to be able to spread the ball around a little more without Gavin, the main target, being here. We're going to be able to move the ball around and get it in more hands and a lot more opportunities for people to make some plays for us.
Brian, I always enjoy talking about, people who are playing defense, finding their way into opponents' backfields, and you did that a lot last year. Talk about last year and how does that carry over into this year?
Last year, man, our coach, he preaches relentless effort, and just one thing you can't coach. That's one thing I was big on that. So that's why I was trying to get in the backfield a lot. And it's the same thing going in this year. Just me being as big as I am and being able to run. That's what I pride myself on. So I'm trying to do the same thing this year.
When I talked with Coach Walter a little bit earlier this summer, he hesitates to compare any one player to any player of the past, but there is a precedent for the Rangers to have solid players on that defensive line. Talk about knowing that going in.
The guys in front of me really taught me a lot. It really taught me how to just be more physical than I was coming in as a freshman. That Coach Wall was very, very right about that. We always have a great group in the front, but we gotta get it back on track this year.
Brian, players talk about when things start to click in or the game slows down. Did you have that moment last year from your previous years there, or if not, are you still looking forward to seeing that moment when the game really slows down for you?
Oh yes, sir. It happened. It definitely happened for me this year. The game definitely slowed down a lot. I was in the film room a lot more than I have been in the past because we had the COVID situation. So it slowed down a lot just knowing because I knew what I was doing, but I actually knew breakdowns. I knew personnels. I knew what I was actually looking at. So yeah, the game definitely slowed down for me, especially after the first game. Those first game jitters got out the way and everything really slowed down after that.
Coach, there are a number of newer coaches in the league. As a matter of fact, a number of first-year coaches this year, and then a few more that have been around less than you have. So you're actually becoming one of the more elder statesmen in the GAC now. Talk about that and how the league has grown, and then you're going to have to get some new books on some of these teams.
Yeah, Joe, you call me old, man.
I have yet to say that in those words to any coach,
right.
but
Right. It's true. It's true. Becoming one of the more veteran, I won't say veteran, but one of the more tenured coaches in our league. I've kind of seen it grow. I mean, our league's gotten better and better and better from top to bottom every year. And it's pushing the envelope for each program. And that's great to see. It's great to see, guys going into, these bowl games, the two bowl games in the end of last season, seeing Southeastern beat Important State and seeing, OBU beat Permian Basin. That was great, and not only in the playoffs. Obviously, we've had a lot of success in the playoffs the last couple of years, but just continuing to improve, as a league, it's awesome to see. And these new coaches, you're going to have to, try to find ways to find scouting reports for these new coaches and kind of backtrack where they've been and kind of what they've done and do your homework, do your research on them, which that's part of the game. And it's with the turnover the way it is, that happens. And, it's exciting. I'm excited for them too, though. Because, I've known a couple of them from other places, other ventures, whatever. And just excited to see them come to our league and us get to compete against each other.
Tanner, besides the haircut, what were some of your off-season focuses for this year as you prepared to enter this fall camp?
Something that really kind of like holidays, something that slowed down for me is protection, seeing blitzes and intention of defenders. So just knowing where my hots are that part has really slowed down for me. It's really a lot easier to see. And then also getting to that third option in my reads is something that I've been trying to focus on. Making the back a viable option even in my progression. So those have been my kind of focal points in this offseason.
Coach, the season gets underway on a Thursday night in Magnolia. Talk about that and the opening to your year. It's a good trip. Well, I say that any trip from Alva is going to be a good trip in the GAC, but it's a good trip for you all to get things going and get the season underway. Talk about that first game.
Yeah, Thursday nights are always awesome. It's just great. It's always great atmospheres to start the year off. I think that I think every team's doing it. Sure about everybody's schedule, but I know for the past, I think 6-7 years we've been doing it on Thursday nights, and that's been, just a fun environment. Going down to Magnolia, playing Southern Arc, and Coach Smiley, in his first year there. I've yet to talk to him, but looking forward to it, and just get the season started. I know they'll be ready. We'll be ready, and be ready to rock and roll. So yeah, it's a long trip from Alva to anywhere. So we're used to it. That's not new to us. It's not, anything that we're not accustomed to. So just want to get on the road, ready to go.
Brian, to you first. As Coach mentions, all these road trips. What are some of your best tales from the road? Whether it's a memorable bus ride you've had, or just a trip after a road victory. What's one of your more memorable bus rides that you've experienced as part of the Ranger team?
It would probably be my freshman year. In 2018, we beat SWASU at home. I think they did their homecoming and senior night on the same night, and we ended up beating SWASU. It was just, at any time we beat a rival, it's fun, especially at third place. It's a different type of feeling. So, that was the most memorable bus ride I could remember, for sure.
What was about the bus ride that made it about just the emotions of the team on the bus? Yeah,
most of the team seeing the seniors go out like that, they were really, really happy about their win. And just seeing them go out on top, it was just different. They was happy, excited, and it wasn't a long bus ride. It's only about 2 hours, 2-3 hours. So we got home quick and we got to celebrate it. So it was fun.
Daniel, same question for you. If it's a different game, what's another one that you think of fondly?
Um, the most memorable one for me would probably have to be after my first start. We were kind of in a slump that year in 2019, and we went to SNU. We ended up beating them, and that was like we were struggling. So that like team camaraderie was a real great feeling to feel finally after going through that slump. And on the bus ride home, everybody's excited. It was just a great feeling having everybody had each other's back that game. It was just a great feeling.
Coach, I know it's by design that you picked the two gentlemen that we're getting to visit with today. Can you talk about them then, and address them just a little bit more, and what they do bring to the table?
Well, yeah, Brian came here as a freshman and is going to be a 4-year starter by his time is done here. Going to have his degree and going to hopefully finish his master's degree. We'll see if he can finish that or not before he's done. Hopefully get into a camp. I don't want to put the cart before the horse, but I had a lot of NFL teams talk to me about him, and just see his development. He came in way overweight, and has built his body the way it should be, and just put in the work, put in the effort, put in the time. Really provides leadership along the whole team, not just the D line. Now, the whole team leadership. He's built relationships with his teammates and coaches and really done everything you can possibly ask of him. He's a Ranger through and through, and in this day and age where you can transfer and go wherever you want, whenever you want, he's stuck it out throughout everything and really been a staple and a rock for our program. So I can't speak highly enough of him. And last year it showed. It really showed in the first team all conference player and really getting that recognition from everybody else in the league, not just from our coaches. And it was really good to see. I was really happy for him, really happy for all the work he put in. Of course, Tanner came here as a transfer after his freshman year and his redshirt freshman season, transferred in and honestly we had a couple guys. We probably weren't going to recruit him until we had a couple guys get hurt in the spring, and he actually Coach Sullivan, our linebacker coach at the time, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, look at this, watch this player," and it was Tanner, and I'm watching his practice film from the school he was at. I was like, "Man, this kid's a really good player. Why does he want to leave?" And he wanted to leave for a different opportunity, and he came here and worked his butt off, and he really has grown into his own as a leader. Always had the talent, but now he's starting to put it together with the mentality of the game, the mental aspect, and again, is what you want. What you want as a leader, does everything the right way. Is vocal, has really grown in that vocal role because he wasn't vocal, early on. Has really become a vocal leader amongst our players. And, again, education-wise, he's going to do student teaching and get his degree, and he still has a year left. And, he'll probably finish his master's degree before all is said and done, which is a great accomplishment for anybody. So really proud of these two young men and the players they've become and the leaders they've become for our program.
Coach, I want to ask you one other thing too, regarding what you all have in Alva. When we mentioned it's a long trip, but when I first started broadcasting games that were GAC opponents and making the trip to Northwestern wasn't as much fun for a road broadcaster to get to call the game. When you travel into to call the Rangers games now at home, on the road, doesn't matter. Great facilities up there, great press box, and you guys have made even more upgrades as well. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think everybody's trying to keep up with the facility game for recruiting, and it is part of it. You want your players to have a great experience. Our